Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Spark. For me, about 5 minutes have gone by, and for you, it's been a whole week. But last week, I tested out all the materials from my Faber Castell Try-It box, and this week, I'm going to keep going on that roll and see about doing a page with just these materials. Challenge being, very complementary color palette, which is not my normal. So, I have a few scraps of paper in text and black and white, so that's not adding anything color-wise. So I'm just going to dive in. I think I'm going to use the gelato and stencil over that, but I'm going to wait until the matte medium that I used to glue the paper down is dry. So if I set that there kind of just as a reminder. So definitely getting some texture changes where there had been a little bit of the matte medium on the paper. I was trying to lay these guys right into the crease. Just have to rearrange this to draw on things. And I'm putting my hand right in this wet. So, best of both, combining the texture of some of the watercolors with the intensity and the blendability of the gelato. I'm thinking of some kind of mirroring of the stencil with the orange over here and maybe gray over here, maybe some marker and some outlining. Maybe some shading in between. And yeah, I'm starting to have some ideas. Let me hit this with the heat gun just to finish drying my matte medium. So just by holding the stencil down tight and blending it dry with my finger, I can fill it in. It's a pretty soft version of the stencil. It's not as crisp as if I was doing this with, acrylic paint or something. Getting a little carryover of the orange gelato that was on the edges of the stencil. Blending with the gray watercolor marker. And for this, I don't mind that at all. But it's good to note, if I wanted this to be cleaner and not a slightly orange tinged gray, then I definitely would have wanted to clean my stencil. very pale gray. It's not reading almost at all on the old dictionary text because that's such a tinted paper, you know, tinted with age. And this extra fine tip doesn't want to work on anything that might be a little bit wet. But I think I do want the blackness of the lines. Hard to see that one, kind of just making that one up. I'm not really happy with the loose edges on the gelato. I also have gelato all over my hands. So that does say one thing about this material. When it is not water blended, it can be pretty, it can move around a lot onto you, onto other parts of your page, etc. So I'm not completely happy with that. Had to get the blue in somewhere, and probably need to get the blue in over here as well. Also, this black shape is just kind of a flat black. I'm not quite sure where we're going with that. If I let myself have one more material, I mean, it's gesso, so that's still keeping. I'm not adding anything to the color palette, right? I'm just going to grab some gesso and this piece of, this might be drywall tape, I'm not sure. Yes, messy. That's okay. That messy doesn't bother me. So I've used I haven't used the regular lead pencil, and I haven't used the smallest one. Well, the smallest one was complaining, and I didn't want to gum up the tip. So we might give that one a free pass. We'll try it again before we call it, though. I like that better. Having just spritzed it and letting it bleed a little bit, then it's not so stark white. Trying to have things relate together. There still probably should be a little blue on this page. With the exception of the paper tearing under the X. That's not too bad. Just giving that a little definition with the regular graphite pencil did mess up the X a little bit more. All right, that was pretty fun. Again, as you can see, it's all over my hands, but the gelatos really have a lot of possibilities. They're extremely pigmented and really soft and buttery. These are nice colored pencils. I think I had a bit more fun with the watercolor pencils because I like that it's 2 for 1, that you can have a wash, but then you can also have line work as well. These brush pens are an absolute favorite of mine. I do tend to like the bigger tips more than the small ones, but sometimes the small ones give you just a bit of detail that is excellent. Jury's out on this because it was such a pale gray, so it wasn't really dynamic in my composition, and I just didn't do a lot of blending with it. So, you know, I can't complain about a dual tip marker that gives you different options, but I don't have a lot of opinions on this yet. So yeah, that's my try it box. That was pretty much fun. It was definitely a departure for me as to the color palette, but it was nice to sample the materials and see what they might do. So, as always, please go ahead and do the YouTube things and like, subscribe, all of that. But for now, we're going to call that the end of this Weekly Spark, and I look forward to seeing you here on the internet next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye for now.